Hello YouTubers, welcome back to the channel. It's your pal Eddie here for another video. In this video I will be showing you my top 10 movies, horror movies in my collection from 1986. I gotta say this was tough. This was so tough because there's so many great movies that came out in 86 that didn't make my list. But not because I don't like them, I do, but because of I try to go by my favorites, by nostalgia. Is such a powerful thing, nostalgia, some that I kept watching throughout the years, and, so just because it didn't crack the top 10 doesn't mean I don't like them. Of course, I mean, I do. It's Friday night. It's October 18th, so you probably won't see this video until Saturday, tomorrow Saturday. So yeah, on with the top 10. So let's start off. All right, so at number 10, I'm going to start off with Chopping Mall. I love this movie. It's a slasher, and if you've been following my channel, I am a sucker for the 80s slashers. I grew up on this film. I saw this film multiple times when it was released, and and I enjoy it. It's cheesy, it's fun. Basically, it's about these young, I would say late teenagers, or maybe in their early 20s, I don't know. So they work at this mall, and they decided to stay after hours. So they stayed, after hours, so they can party and whatever, do these stupid things. And there's these robots, security guards. Well, something goes wrong. There's a malfunction, and these security robots go on a killing spree. They start killing each one by one. So it's a very good slasher. I really like it. Yeah, this is by Vestron Video. So yeah, it's a fun one, guys. If you haven't seen Chopping Mall and you like 80 slashers like me, give this one a watch, man. Chopping Mall, really good movie. All right, number 9, we have Vamp. Vampire movie, directed by Richard Wenk, I think. So basically about these two young dudes who try to go to this bar, and they're looking for this stripper, but they are unaware that the bar or wherever they go, it's filled with vampires. It's occupied by vampires. You got Grace Jones in this. I mean, she's totally amazing. She is amazing in this film. So yeah, Vamp coming in at number 9. I recommend, if you like vampire movies, check this one out. It's a fun one. It's pretty good. Coming in at number 8, we have Witchboard. Man, it's such a good movie. I love Witchboard. Yeah, so this one is directed by Kevin Tenney, and the main actress is Tawny Kitaen. If you don't know who that is, she's the one that would come out in the Whitesnake videos. She was the one on top of the hood of the cars in the Here I Go Again video by Whitesnake. So yeah, she's in this movie, and she's right there, man. She is beautiful. So sad that she passed away a couple of years ago. Yeah, I was really heartbroken because, man, Tawny Kitaen. But I know she had some issues. She was battling some demons, and yeah, she was going through a tough time. But anyway, so Tawny Kitaen is she's playing with the Ouija board, and she contacts this evil spirit ghost, from her past, from her childhood, something like that. It's been years since I've seen it, but the guy that she's dating, is trying to help her out. So he teams up with her ex, trying to stop this spirit or whatever. This is by Scream Factory. It's still available. It's still in print, if you guys are wondering. Yeah, this is such a good movie. I remember watching it when it came out. I remember HBO would be shown on HBO. Really good movie. So yeah, Witchboard coming in at number 8. Coming in at number 7, we have Psycho 3. Yeah, that's right. With the late great Anthony Perkins, who actually directed this film. Yeah, he directed this film. It's been a long time since I've seen Psycho 3, but it's basically Norman Bates falls for this nun. You know, that she stays at the Bates Motel. But I can't remember much of it. But I remember really, really enjoying this movie. I gotta rewatch it at some point. But yeah, Anthony Perkins, you know, comes back in 1986 as Norman Bates, and he actually directed this film. So yeah, at number 7, Psycho 3. Coming in at number 6, we have The Wraith, The Wrath, The Wraith, whatever you call it. Stars Charlie Sheen. It directed by Mike Marvin. This is a good one. This is kind of a supernatural movie where this guy that, you know, I guess dies, you know, and his spirit comes from the sky, and he manifests like this badass sports car, you know, and he's targeting this bullies, like this local gang who is trying to run the place, and, you know, it's a great movie. The soundtrack, amazing. You know, if you grew up in the 80s and you love that hard rock, hair metal, that soundtrack is filled with this kind of stuff. There's a song by a band called Lion. Not White Lion. Lion, just Lion. Who has a killer jam in this movie. Yeah, The Wraith, man, coming in at number 6. Alright. Coming in at number 5, we have Poltergeist II. Yep, directed by Brian Gibson. Basically, the whole cast from the first one comes back except the older daughter who had passed away. Actually, she got murdered, but you know that's a different story. But yeah, sadly that she didn't return, obviously, because she got murdered by her crazy ass boyfriend, or a guy that she was seeing. But anyway, the whole family comes back. They have a new home, but the supernatural evil forces are still tormenting them. They're still taunting them. Yeah, so it's a pretty good sequel. I wasn't a big fan of the third one, but Poltergeist 2 still is, the nostalgia is there because I would keep watching it throughout the years. But very good movie. Poltergeist 2 at number 5. Coming in at number 4, we have Night of the Creeps. Good movie. Directed by Fred Decker. Not too familiar with his work, but Tom Atkins is on this. You got the guy from European Vacation that played Rusty Griswold, the guy from European Vacation. He's on this. I think his name is Jason something. I forgot his name. I forgot her name, but I think she comes out in Porky's, and he kind of has a crush on her, something like that. So basically, this movie is about these weird slugs or parasites that they enter the humans through their mouths, and they end up turning into like zombies. So they're trying to stop them, you know, and it's got comedy. It's like a sci-fi horror with comedy. So it's a blast. It's so much fun. Night of the Creeps coming in at number 4. Coming in at number 3, we have Trick or Treat, also known as Ragman, but I know it as Trick or Treat. Love this movie. I love this movie. I can't wait for the 4K. It's been announced by Synapse, and I can't wait to get that 4K. This is directed by Charles Martin Smith, I think. Man, it's such a good movie. Ozzy Osbourne has a little cameo. Gene Simmons has a little cameo appearance on this. So basically, it's about this metalhead teenager who is obsessed with this heavy metal band, and the singer dies through a fire. I guess at the hotel where they were staying at, something like that. He dies, and the teenager's all heartbroken about it. So he's able to get the last copy of his album. So he plays the album, and he plays it backwards, and that kind of summons him back from the dead, brings him back to life. But he's going on a rampage. He's trying to, you know, he's all demonic, he's all satanic, and he's trying to, there's Gene Simmons, tries to kill people, and so yeah, he's the only one that could stop him. The soundtrack is freaking badass. It's most of the songs are played by a band called Fastway. I don't know if you're familiar with them. Fastway is a killer hard rock heavy metal band from England. I have so much nostalgia for this because growing up in the 80s, I was a metalhead too. You know, I would, you know, so there's a scene where he's in his room and there's like posters of rock bands all over the room, even the obscure bands. And I grew up in the 80s, so a lot of bands like that people probably have never heard, you know, were in his walls. Like the posters were in his walls. A band called Possess, I don't know if you ever heard of them. Impaler, that's another band, you know. A lot of people never heard of those bands, you know, but everybody knows the popular ones like Slayer and, you know, Megadeth and Motley Crue and stuff like that. You know, but there's bands called Hallows Eve, Juggernaut, Coven, you know, Infernal Majesty, you know, those are obscure bands. But anyway, I love this one. It's so good. Yeah, number 3, Trick or Treat. If you're a metalhead and if you love 80s rock songs, and you know, this is for you, man. Trick or Treat, number 3. Coming in at number 2, we have Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives. I love this film, and of course, I have to have a Friday the 13th movie on my list. It's a killer franchise, man. What can I say? Yeah, so basically, Tommy Jarvis, if you remember the final chapter, it was the character Tommy was played by young Corey Feldman, and then he grows up in the 5th one. Well, he's still obsessed with Jason. He has this thing where Jason, is he really dead? Is he not? But he accidentally or unwittingly rescued Jason back, you know. So he's back on a killing spree, and Jason is killing people. This is directed by Tom McLaughlin, I think. It's a fun one. If you like I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody's seen this one, especially if you're a Friday the 13th fan. And it's got that killer theme song by Alice Cooper. Of course, you know, he's back, the man behind the mask. So, Alice Cooper even made a music video for it. So, yeah, great stuff. Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives at number 2. And number 1, we have The Fly, directed by the man, David Cronenberg. You got Gina Davis, you got Jeff Goldblum. So basically, Goldblum plays like this scientist who does this experiment that, you know, like a teleportation type of experiment, but he wants to do it on himself, and accidentally when he goes in the machine or the port or whatever it was, like, I don't know, there's like a little fly that goes in there, and things start to really turn. He starts to turn into a fly. Wow. The practical effects were amazing in this film. I mean, it's pretty gross, but man, it looks so good. Great movie. So yeah, number 1, The Fly. And that was it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Those were my top 10 movies from 1986. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. And don't forget, if you like what you see, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for more upcoming videos. I am going to work on another video. I did an inspiration of 80s slashers, movie that inspired 80s slashers a couple of days ago. So I'm going to do a part 2 on that. I'm going to do a part 2 because I left some out. So I'm going to do a part 2, and then I'll start my 80s slashers collection. Until then, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. See ya.